Hey everybody, alright, this video is going to be about the Epson v600 photo scanner, slide scanner, document scanner. It comes with two attachments. This is an addition, this video is a continuation to the other 3 or 4 videos I've already done, so make sure you watch those also. I'm mainly going to be talking about old style negative scanning right now, but let me show you what it comes with is 2 plastic adapters. They're kind of cheap, but this is how they ship scanners now with these type of attachments. Kind of really not the greatest, but it works. It does work. I've scanned 1,500 slides, and this is one of the holders. You can place 4 slides in there. You take off the top part of the scanner, and you get light coming from the top, and it does a fairly decent scan. The slides came out good. So that's one part of the attachments that you get. Second part is this thing. This is made for putting 35mm negatives into here, negative strips. And it is definitely not easy to do. It's actually very difficult. Even though I was able to figure out how to do it, it's still not an easy thing to do. You have to take your negative, 35mm negative, you put the strip in here. You really put one strip in here, and if you can try to put another one in here, that works. But I ended up turning them in opposite directions so that it looks like one side is thicker than the other. So I used the thicker side with the wider side of the negative that didn't have any film stuff on there. And then you snap this piece in place, and this is where it becomes difficult. You've got 2 negatives in there. You're trying to snap this piece, put these 2 little knobs inside there, and then latching it down here, latching it down here, latching it here, 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 and hoping that these slides don't go flying through the air as you're doing it. Not the easiest thing to do. If I was doing this for a living, I would definitely go out and buy a dedicated scanner for film and negative. But I'm not doing this for a living. I'm just updating family photos and trying to save what I can. Here's the other attachment. I believe that this is for 110 film or 120 film, maybe. This part is for what's called 120-220. The old style, they were called 645, 6'7", 6x7, or 6x7, 6x8, 6x9, and that's really just the dimension. I think it's 60 centimeters, or 6 centimeters times 9 centimeters, or 60 millimeters times 90 millimeters. I'm in the USA, so I don't mess with this ridiculous metric system. But the whole idea behind this is you have to take one of these, hold these on the edge so I don't ruin them, even though they are extremely old. This is a 6x9 negative, and it's measured 6 by 9. And the idea is to place it inside this holder, which I am going to do. Probably not on camera, because I'm going to have to get really close to try to do this, and my head's going to be in the way. But you press these 2 little tangs, and then you kind of raise this thing up, and then you will take your negative. I believe with this it is, I think it's the shiny side down. You take the shiny side down and you place it in to your holder, and then you take this thing. I could do more than one, but I'm just going to do one for the test. And you take this thing and you snap it in place, and then you place it on the scanner, which I'm going to do now. Okay, what you're going to have to do, this is the cover. You're going to have to remove the cover, this thing, I don't know what you call it, this plate that stays on there when you're just doing regular photos. You're going to have to remove that so that you get the light coming from the top of the scanner. And then you will place the holder down on the scanner. You can see right there is the negative that I just placed in there. And there's a position over here you want it to be positioned in the B section with that little tab that's on there that's labeled B. Okay, so I'm going to go crank on the scanner right now and turn on the software, and we'll see what happens with scanning this. I believe it's probably a 50-year-old slide, I mean a 50-year-old negative. Alright, so what I've got now is the Epson software. I'm going to try this with Epson, and I'm also going to try it with ViewScan. I'm in the professional mode, current settings, film. Reflective is a photograph. Film is a negative or well, a negative. It's a negative or a film strip. 24-bit, I'm going to be doing 24-bit. I could do 48-bit, but from what I understand, there's some software that really can't handle 48-bit processing. Not that it would matter. 1600 DPI is probably much more than I need. This is a black and white negative, so I'm going to switch this to black and white negative film instead of color negative. I'm going to stick with the 24-bit like I said. We'll let it figure out what the document size is going to be soon. Adjustments, I'm not going to do any adjustments on this thing. Unsharp mask, I'm going to leave that set, but I'm not going to do anything else. So let me do a preview. We'll see what the software does. This is my first time doing this with this type of negative. You always get a not responding on this software, no matter, or on the scanner, it always does that and then it responds. So let's see what comes up with this, the Epson scan software. Yeah, I think this negative's probably at least 50 years old, if not 55. Okay, so we've got two slides here. We've got two slides. What I'm going to do is, this one's highlighted. I'm going to rotate this. And then we've got that one, that's fine. Now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go in here and draw my frame that I want it to scan. Okay, that's nice. I'm going to go over to this slide and I'm going to draw my frame for that one too. And the nice thing I like about Epson, the nice thing I like about all of this, you got to wait the thumb. You see that? Okay, now it's gonna, the thumbprint turns to a double arrow. So now I can control the height and width. I can stretch out my my ant lines over there if I need to. And if you want, if the ant lines are fine, but you need to move the whole thing up or down, all you need to do is press the Shift key while the hand is in there. Press the Shift key, and this whole box will move up. Okay, so now that I've got my highlight, what you need to do, I don't like this, but you've got to press, see where it says all, you have to press Select All Frames. If you don't do that, it's only going to scan whatever one is highlighted, whichever one, which in this case would be the blue. Now I'm going to click All. They both are highlighted. I'm going to go down to the software that I was just using, and I'm going to click Scan. And now it's going to go do, it's going to scan two negatives. And we'll see what's going to come out of this thing. And then after this is finished, then I'm going to go and try it with View Scan and see if it's as easy. Alright, so let's hold on a minute and see what happens. As you can see, this thing says it's going to take about 2 minutes, so I'm not going to keep this thing going while it's doing what it needs to do, which is almost done, I believe. Alright, and there you have it. A 50-year-old slide. That's the first one. And let's click to advance to the next one. And that's the second part. Pretty amazing. The v600 is really a great scanner. It has a huge learning curve, like all scanning does, but it's awesome. Let me try View Scan now and see what happens with that. Alright, here I've got View Scan. It recognizes the scanner. The mode's going to be flatbed, and I've already got this option set up for scanning photos, but I'm going to want to set it up to do negatives. So let me get some of the settings adjusted here. Alright, so what we've got now, we're going to be scanning to a file, obviously. It sees the scanner. What am I using? Flatbed? Yes, I'm using the flatbed, but I'm using the transparency thing on the top. So transparency, 24-bit, I already mentioned that. Batch scan, and I'm going to leave the batch scan on. I'm only doing one scan. Preview, I'll let it do auto. 1600, I scan my slides and my negatives at 1600. A lot of people like going to 4000. You're going to see specks of dust all over the place. And unless you're a professional, you don't really need 4,000. First off, you don't need those incredibly huge files, and you don't need 4,000 DPI resolution. Come on. If you use 1600, you can normally get a good an HD picture. You can get a really nice HD picture, 1920 by 1080 on your monitor, so going to 4,000 is a little bit overkill. Auto skew, yeah, I'm going to let it stay on auto skew. Cropping, manual crop, if I need to shut that off, if I need to shut off any of this stuff, I can. 35 millimeter film, yes, because I'm doing, well, I'm not really doing 35 millimeter, I'm doing 4x5. I'm really doing 4x6, so I might have to do some adjustment on that, but I'll set it to 4x5. Filter, I'm not going to let it control anything. Color, I'm just going to leave it generic. Negative brand, yeah, I'm just going to leave it negative because that's all I can really do. Most of my stuff I'm scanning in TIFF and JPEG so that I can have a low res so that I can look at and give to people if I want to, and a TIFF file, much bigger file, but it is a non-loss format, so if I need to go in and do some editing, I can edit. I can take my TIFF file, I can make a copy of that if I need to, and leave my master alone and then work with the TIFF. Or I could even work with the master, but I'd make a backup, work with the TIFF, and then save it to a JPEG if I needed to. Preferences, alright, so I think we're done. Let's go down over here, and I'm going to click on Preview. Alright, so Preview, let's see. ViewScan is, I use the ViewScan for my 35 millimeter slides and my photos. Not as easy to use for negatives. Definitely not as easy to use for the negatives. So we're going to find out right now what's going to happen here. I had a very hard time with my film strips and cropping. Okay. This is fascinating because what we see here is we see the complete picture now where it was completely broken up with the Epson software. I'm going to go in here and highlight. Pressing my left mouse button, I'm dragging. I do like ViewScan. It does have problems just like Epson does, but the Epson scan. But I've been very happy with the ViewScan software. I'm going to leave go. It should change color. It went to black and white now. Okay. Now that it's highlighted, it went to black and white. And now I'm going to go and click scan, and we're going to see what this thing does. The other one took 2 minutes to do. Let's see. That's really just the scanner, so let's see if ViewScan is a little bit quicker. It's just sitting there doing absolutely nothing right now. The nice thing, though, is that it attached the two pictures, the two negatives together. And here we go. We're getting a picture already. Much better than the Epson scan that I just showed you. Absolutely incredible. Look at that. It's already doing, that's an original scan, but you can see the color is much, much, much nicer. Incredibly nice. Oh man, look at this. This is just awesome. Very pleased. This scanner is an incredible product, well worth the money to buy to be able to scan pictures and see memories or archive memories. Okay, so it's saving its photo now. It's going to open up. Look at that. Look at that. Just incredible. That is, it's saving it in TIFF, like I said, and JPEG. That is the JPEG. Look at that. 50-year-old, at least 50. I don't know. I was given this negative. This thing's got to be at least 50, 60 years old. It's probably 67, probably 65 years old. And with this old negative, look what I'm able to recover. Without having to take this to a Photoshop, I use the scanner, I'm able to recover the picture, and then if I needed to, I could take this to a photo store. I could send this online to Costco or any other place and have a picture printed from this. Absolutely incredible. Hopefully you learned something with the ViewScan and the Epson scan software, and how to scan a 4x5 or a, what was I saying, like a 6x7, 6x9, 6x8 old negative in the 220 format. Alright, make sure you watch my other videos, subscribe if you want to, do some thumbs up if you want to, go to my main page, click on support this channel if you want to, and watch all my other videos. Maybe you'll learn something. Hey, thanks for watching.